Hey guys, hi, welcome back. So, in the previous video, we have already studied the basics of thermodynamics, right? We had gone through some definitions, some terms related to thermodynamics. Now, what we will see, we will study about the kinetic theory of gases in this video. Okay, we will see some postulates of kinetic theory of gases. We will see the Maxwell-Boltzmann's distribution, okay, and the gas laws. So, firstly, I would like to say that there are some assumptions, okay, for each and every topic there are some types of assumptions. So the kinetic theory of gases, they are also having some assumptions which is said to be the postulates, okay. So to study the kinetic theory of gases, we need to keep in mind these postulates. So the first postulate is what, that gases, they are made up of molecules, okay. Gases are made up of what? Molecules. This means that we can treat the gas molecules as point masses, which are perfect spheres. Okay, we can treat, or we can assume that the gas molecules are point masses or perfect spheres. Okay, all right. Now you see, molecules in a gas, they are at a very large distance from each other. They are far away from each other, and the distance between the molecules in a gas, okay, it is very much larger than the magnitude of the diameter of the molecules. Means the diameter of the molecules magnitude is much smaller compared to the distance between the molecules of the gases. So this is what the first law says, okay. The second law is what? The second law says that the molecules are in constant random motion. Okay, the molecules are in constant random motion. So we have to understand what does this constant random motion means. See, the motion of molecules inside the gas, okay, they are not having any arrangement, or there is no any general pattern, okay, which will decide the magnitude, or you can say the direction of the velocity of the molecules. Okay, they can move in at different velocities, okay, at many different speeds at any given time. Molecules are in constant random motion, okay. This means that there is no any governing pattern arrangement for the motion of molecules inside the gas. They are free to move with any with different speeds, with different velocity at any given time, okay. That means the magnitude is not depending on any factor of what, the magnitude of the velocities or the direction. All right, next we will see the third postulate. The third postulate says that the movement of molecules is governed by the Newton's law. See, we have the Newton's law which says that a body is continuing its motion, okay, or its state. You can say a body will continue to stay in rest or motion until and unless it is disturbed by an external force. So you see, the molecules of a gas, they are moving in straight line, right, with a steady velocity, because they are not interacting with any other molecules. Besides collision, they are not interacting, so they will move in straight line, okay. And when they are colliding with each other, they are what, exerting equal but opposite forces. So this is the reason why the molecules are governed by what, Newton's law of, okay, motion. All right, next the last postulates, let's see. The last postulate says what, molecular collisions, okay, are perfectly elastic. The collisions of molecules inside gas, these are perfectly elastic. Means when the molecules will collide with each other, there will be no loss in the kinetic energy of each molecule, okay. Means molecule will not lose any kinetic energy when they will collide. So these are the four very basic postulates of kinetic theory of gases that we need to do, and these are very simple, okay. Now we will see the gas laws. So first we will see the Boyle's law. So what the Boyle's law says, that if you have a gas, okay, of mass m. Okay, then at constant temperature the pressure is what? Inversely proportional to the volume. All right, or you can write what? PV, it is equals to constant. All right, or you can say PV is constant. Next you see the Charles law. Charles law says that if you have a given mass of gas m, okay, if you have a gas whose mass is m, and if the pressure is constant, then the volume of that gas, it is proportional to the temperature, or you can say volume by temperature, it is constant. All right, this is the Charles law. Now we will see the Avogadro's law. What the Avogadro's law says, that if you have two gases, okay, whose temperature, pressure and volume, all these three things are equal, then the number of molecules will be also equal. Okay, that means N1 will be equals to N2. The number of molecules in the first gas, it will be equals to the number of molecules in the second gas. This is what the Avogadro's law says. Now we will see the Graham's law of diffusion. So you see, when you have two gases whose temperature and pressure are what? Same. When you have what? Two gases whose temperature is also same and pressure is also same, and then they are allowed to diffuse into each other. In that case, what will happen? The rate of diffusion, that is denoted by R, the rate of diffusion of each gas, remember the rate of diffusion of each gas, it will be inversely proportional. Okay, it will be inversely proportional to the square root of what? The density of gas, right? So if you consider R1 to be the rate of diffusion of one gas R2 of the other gas, then R1 by R2, it will be equals to what? Root over rho 2 by rho 1. That means the rate of diffusion is inversely proportional to the square root of the density of gas. But you need to keep in mind, when the gases are having what? Same temperature and same pressure. In that case, this happens. Okay. Now lastly, what we will see, Dalton's law of partial pressure. Okay. So what the Dalton's law of partial pressure says? In a simple language, I will say that the total pressure of a mixture of gas, it is equal to the sum of the individual pressure of its component. Okay, if you have a mixture of a gas in a volume V, then the total pressure P, which is exerted by the gas, it will be equals to what? The sum of the individual, or the sum of the partial pressure of its component. All right, so this is the Dalton's law of partial pressure. Next, we will see the ideal gas equation. This is a very important equation and it is used multiple number of times. We have used while solving the questions. Okay, so it is what? PV, it is equals to nRT, right? Here P, it is the pressure, V is the volume, N is the number of moles, R is the universal gas constant, and T is the temperature. All right, so the ideal gas equation is PV is equals to nRT. All right, till here it is clear. We have seen the gas laws, the Boyle's law, Charles law, Avogadro's law. We have seen the Graham's law of diffusion and the Dalton's law of partial pressure. And then we have seen the ideal gas equation. All right. Next, we will see the Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution. Okay. Now the Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution, it is given by what? dNc by n, it is equals to 4 pi c square into with m by 2 pi kbt square 3 by 2, okay, e to the power minus mc square 2 kbt this is. So this is the Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution equation. Now here you see this equation is representing what? This equation is representing the number of molecules per unit volume. Okay, the number of molecules per unit volume which is having different speed between C to C plus dc. Okay, this is the Maxwell's distribution of what? Speed. Now you see, you can write this equation for the vector quantity velocity also. Okay, there you will be looking what? It will represent the number of molecules per unit volume having different velocity between V to V plus dV. All right, the only difference is this. Now you see here m in this equation, if you see m it is what? It is the mass of the molecule. T, it is the absolute temperature. dNc by n, it is the fraction of molecules which is having speed between what? C to C plus dc. All right, so this is the Maxwell distribution law. Now what you will see, Kb. In this equation, Kb, it is the Boltzmann constant we know, or we can say Boltzmann constant, or we can say the gas constant per molecule. Kb can be written as R by Na, right? So this will be equals to what? R by 6.023 into 10 to the power 23. Na, it is the Avogadro's number. Clear? So you don't have any doubt till here, I think so. Okay, this is the Maxwell's distribution of speed. Now we will see here some terms are related, okay, which we can see. The terms are what? The terms are average speed is there. You have average root mean square speed and so on. One thing I would like to say, I will say in the next, when I will be discussing about the most probable speed, then I will say, see, first thing we will see, the first term that we will see is the average speed. Okay, so what is the average speed? It is the sum of what? All speed of all the molecules divided by the number of molecules. It is the sum of what? Speed of all the molecules divided by what? Number of molecules, and it is denoted by C average. So here you see sum of the speed, it is given by what? Integration 0 to infinity C dnc. Dnc is the term which we have calculated or we have written in the previous slide. Okay, this dnc is equals to this, n into with 4 pi c square m by 2 kt whole to the power 3 by 2 e to the power minus mc square by 2 kbt dc. All right, so average speed is what? It is the sum of all the speed, okay, divided by the number of molecules, that is n. All right, you see that it is equals to what? Root over 8 kbt by pi m. This will be the value of average speed. You can write C average is equals to what? Root over 8 kbt by m. Now next, let's see the root mean square speed. It is nothing, root mean square speed. If you see this term, okay, it means the what? The root mean square of the what? Mean speed. Average speed is there, which is this one. You have to just take the square root of that. So it is the square root of the average speed. So you can write this is what? This is the average speed. Okay, taking just what? The root, square root of it. So it will be giving us what? When you will solve this particular term, it will give you the root mean square speed to be equals to what? Root over 3 kbt by m. Right. Next, you see the most probable speed. The most probable speed, it is what? It is the maximum probable speed with which the molecules can move in a system. Okay, more than this, the speed cannot exceed. Okay, it is the maximum speed, okay, with which the molecules are moving in a system. And you can write, we know the condition for maxima and minima. Okay, so it is dfc by dc is equals to 0. Okay, when you will differentiate the function with respect to c, okay, then the value of c, okay, for which this differentiation it is equals to 0, that is called the C most probable, right? And it will be equals to what? Root over 2 kt by m. Okay, this is the most probable speed. Now one more thing I would like to say here. Here we are looking m, no? Here m is what? M, it is the mass in kilogram, right? M here, it is the mass in kilogram. It is what? Just a second. Here m, okay, m is mass in kilogram, right? K, it is the Boltzmann's constant. K is equals to what? I said na, it is gas constant per nuclear, per molecule, right? Means Na, it is the Avogadro's number. Now you see small m, mass can be written as what? It can be written as, it can be written as what? It can be written as capital M by the Avogadro's number. Now when you will substitute these values here, then C most probable you can write it to be what? You can write it 2 by 2 kt, I'm keeping as it is. Now instead of K, I'm writing R by Na, and this will be what? Na by M. This will get cancelled, and you can write it to be equals to what? Root over 2RT by M. Clear? So what you will see, C most probability is equals to root over 2RT by M. Here this M, it is the molecular weight. In the question, if you are given with the molecular weight, then use this formula. If you are having the mass, then you use this formula. All right. So there is no doubt in this part. Now you see, we will calculate the ratio of the most probable speed, the average speed, and the root mean square speed. So this is the value of most probable speed, this is the value of average speed, and this is the value of root mean square speed. So you see here kt by m is cancelling everywhere, and you will have root 2 ratio root over 8 by pi is to what? Root over 3. So when you will solve this, you will have 1 is to 1.128 is to 1.224. You can see C most probable, it is what? The lowest, then it is C average, then it is what? C RMS. Okay, the largest is what? The root mean square speed. Now if you see the plot, okay, if it is what? The number of molecules per unit volume having velocity or having speed between C to C plus DC, okay, and this side if I'm giving the speed. So if you see here, the graph will be having somewhat of this pattern. Now the peak point is representing what? In this plot, the maximum value is representing what? It is representing the most probable speed, right? It will represent the most probable speed, na? Okay, so this point will be what? C most probable. Clear? Next you see, then is C average. Okay, if you go somewhat to the right hand side, okay, if you move a bit to the right hand side, what you will see that this point will be the average speed, and when you will move forward, this point will be the root mean square speed, that is the highest. Okay, all right. So now you can see from this plot also and from here also that C most probable is less than C average and C average is less than C RMS. So the greatest is what? The root mean square speed, and the lowest is what? The most probable speed. Okay, you may get questions related to this. This is the reason why I have written this also, because while solving questions we have seen now, we had questions related to this. All right. Next, see, when you will get sometimes in uncertainty, whenever you are getting to find delta C, to find delta C or delta of any term, what you used to do, you are doing the square root of what? Square root, there will be a square root of the difference of what? You have to take the average of the any parameter you are having. Okay, suppose C you are having, you have to take the average of its square. Okay, difference with what? The average whole square difference, means C square average minus C average whole square, right? So delta C is equals to this. This you may get for delta V also, you can use the same technique. Now when you will solve for delta C now, this particular term, then you will see what? This delta C, it is proportional to what? T by M. Now you see, the previous one we have done for a volume of gas. Volume means what? It will be in 3 dimension. Okay, but this Maxwell distribution, you can do it for 1 dimension, 2 dimension, and 3 dimension all. So now this particular table is giving us the value of the most probable speed, average speed, and root mean square speed in 1, 2, and 3 dimension, right? It will give us in all the 3 dimension. Now for 1 dimension, if you see, for 1 dimension, the most probable speed, it is what? 0. For 2 dimension, it is root over kt by m. For 3 dimension, it is root over 2 kt by m. And average speed for 1 dimension, it is root over 2 kt by m. And for 2 dimension, it is root over pi kt by m. For 3 dimension, it is root over 8 kt by pi m. And root mean square speed for the 1 dimension, it is root over kt by m. For 2 dimension, it is root over 2 kt by m. And for 3 dimension, it is root over 3 kt by m. So this table you need to remember, because sometimes you might get direct questions related to this. Okay. Next you see, as we have done the speed distribution, you can do the velocity distribution also. Okay. This chart is giving the velocity distribution in 1, 2 and 3 dimension. So the most probable velocity and the average velocity, okay, in 1, 2 and 3 dimension is 0. Only the root mean square velocity is there, okay. For 1 dimension it is root over kt by 2m, for 2 dimension it is root over 2 kt by m, and for 3 dimension it is root over 3 kt by m. So this table is representing the velocity distribution. So you see here, if you have a particle, suppose, okay, if you have a particle, okay, then if you consider its velocity in x direction, or you can consider in y direction or in z direction, then you will see if this line is giving the number of particles. If you have a plot, okay, you will see the number of particles in the positive direction of velocity, it is equal to the negative direction. This is the reason why the average of what, vx, vy and vz, it is equals to 0. And the square of the square, average of the square, that is vx square, vy square, vz square, it is 2 kt by, it is kt by m. All right, remember that the average of what, vx, vy and vz, it is equals to 0, but the average of vx square, vy square, vz square, it is not equals to 0. This is 0 because if you consider any particle moving in a, whose velocity is moving in a particular direction, in one direction, okay, that is if you take in x coordinate, okay, then vx, okay, and if you have a plot with the number of particles, you will see the positive direction will have the same number of particles as it is in negative, right? So this is the reason why vx, vy, vz, the average of all this, it is equals to 0. Now we will solve some problems, okay. We will solve 5 problems related to all the topics that we have studied till today, okay. So let's see the first question. The first question is that, let me change the ink color because red and red won't be that clear, okay. So I will take it black. So yeah, so the first question is, what Boyle's law can be expressed in differential form as what? Okay, you have to find the Boyle's law in differential form. We know that in Boyle's law, what is happening? PV is equals to constant, right? Now when you will differentiate with respect to what? With respect to pressure, then you can write what? You will have differentiating, first taking P constant, you will have what? dV by dP, okay, plus next you take V constant, dP by dP is 1, and this is equals to what? 0. All right, because it is constant. So finally you can write what? dV by dP, here P is as it is equals to what? Minus V. You can write dV by dP, it is equals to what? Minus V by P, right? So this is a very simple calculation. So the correct option is what? Option D. All right, this is the reason why you need to know the basic concepts. If you know the basic concept, it will become very easy for you, okay. And one more thing I will say you here, that whenever you are doing this type of questions, na, do it step by step, don't rush, because the silly mistake can make your whole answer wrong. Next we will see electrons of mass m in a thin long wire at a temperature T. We have electrons whose mass is m in a long thin wire whose temperature is T, okay. They are following what? One-dimensional Maxwell velocity distribution. So we need to calculate the most probable velocity of these electrons. All right, we know for one dimension, okay, one dimension Maxwell velocity distribution, okay, one dimensional Maxwell velocity distribution, okay. For one dimensional Maxwell velocity distribution, V most probable, okay, that means that is equals to 0, because we have seen in velocity distribution the most probable and the average all are 0 in 1, 2 and 3 dimension, right? We have only the root mean square in 1, 2 and 3 dimension. So if you remember the chart, you can do it very easily. Next, question number 3. Here it is said we need to consider a gas at temperature how much? 300 Kelvin, whose mass is given by 5.31 into 10 to the power minus 26 kg. Okay, so the root mean square speed of the molecule is what? We need to calculate the root mean square speed. The temperature given, the mass is given. Okay, you see here mass is given. So what the formula we will be using? We will use CRMS. It is equals to what? Root over 3 kT by m. Okay, this is the formula for root means square speed. Okay, and here this m, it is what? Mass. So root over will be what? As it is 3 into with the Boltzmann constant, its value is what? 1.38 into 10 to the power minus 23. The temperature is 300 completely divided by what? Mass. Mass is what? 5.31 into 10 to the power minus 26. Alright. So when you will do the calculation, you will get this to be 4.836 into 10 to the power 2 meter per second. Okay. And approximately it will be equals to what? 484 meter per second, right? So your correct option is what? Option D. So this is very simple. You have just substituted the value of mass, temperature, and Boltzmann constant, and you have calculated. Clear? So let's see question number 4. Okay, here it is said that we have a classical gas of molecules, and the mass of its molecules is what? M. So it is in thermal equilibrium at temperature T. T, it is the absolute temperature. Velocity component is given along the Cartesian axis as for x-axis it is Vx, for y it is Vy, for z it is Vz. So you need to calculate what? The mean value for Vx plus Vy whole square. Means you need to calculate the mean value for what? Vx plus Vy whole square's mean value. So directly you can do, first of all you will do what? Vx square, the mean of this, plus I'm writing it individually. Vy square, the mean of this, plus twice of what? Vx, Vy, I'm writing it together, and the mean value. Now you see, we know what? The mean value of this, the average of Vx and the average of Vy, it is equals to 0. Okay, so its mean will be also equals to 0. So this particular term, it will be 0. And you will have the mean value only for these two terms. So the value of this term is what? Vx square is what? Kt by m, right? And Vy square is also what? Kt by m. So finally you will get the average value to be 2 kBt by m. Okay, here in the option it is kBt, so put it at put it as kBt. So the correct option is option D. So you can see, if you remember the average value, then it becomes very easy. Now let's come to the last question of this video. Okay, and with this we will end the kinetic theory of gases. Okay, the postulates and all these things. Then we will see something else, that is van der Waals equation and all those things. So let's see here what is given. The speed v of the molecules of mass m of an ideal gas. The speed v, it is obeying the what? Maxwell velocity distribution law, okay, at equilibrium temperature. And the mass of the molecules is given us, that is m, and this is the ideal gas. Okay, Vx, Vy, Vz, these are denoting the velocity components. Kb, it is the Boltzmann constant. Here also it is same thing, you have to find the average value, right? So average value also you can calculate very easily. What is given to you, that you need to write alpha Vx minus beta Vy, and it is what? Whole square. The average of this you will calculate. So same thing, you will write the a minus b whole square formula. So you will write what? Alpha square Vx square, right? And a alpha is a constant term, so you cannot take the average of it. Okay, you have to take the average only of Vx, right? So you will take the average of only what? Vx square. Similarly for beta square is as it is, you will take the average of what? Vy square minus twice of a and b. Alpha and beta, these are the constant terms. You will have what? Average of v and average of what? Vy, right? So if you see here these terms, Vx and Vy, you know the average value is what? 0. So this complete term will be what? 0. And alpha square will be as it is. Average of Vx square is what? Kbt by m. For beta square is constant, Vy square is also what? Kbt by m. As a whole, you can say, you can take alpha square plus beta square within the bracket, and you can take common what? Kbt by m, right? So your correct option is what? Option B, alpha square plus beta square into with kBt by m. So you can see the questions are not that tough. The main thing is that you need to know about all the values, the concepts. Okay, then everything becomes very easy. So that's all in this video. Thank you so much. Have a good day.